Hi everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my YouTube channel, welcome to my Facebook. This is where I do go live every Tuesday at about 4:30 Pacific, in 4:30 Pacific time, and this is where I get to do one of my techniques. Now, whether or not if I've done this technique or before, and I'm trying to think that what I would really like to do is, and what I've been trying to do is to have different techniques each and every week. And we are on episode number 125. I've been doing this for 2 years now, just over 2 years actually. And yeah, it's challenging to come up with a technique, but I have come up with a technique that is a bit of a twist. And I'm going to actually show you where I did this technique before and how many years ago that I did this technique. So welcome. Remember that this is part of a live. If you don't like it when I do go through and I talk with different people, you can just watch the replay and you can just scoot on by that part. But hello, Judy, and hello, Andrea. Yay, you caught me live. Yay, exactly, you caught me live. I really do appreciate that. So this one, like I say, I have done it before, but we are doing it with a twist, which is a lot of fun. So don't forget, a couple of things just to mention to you. I know I'm going to be going live tomorrow with my mystery challenge. That's where I picked 3 things that are different. Also, another thing is there is such a great offer out there right now. So if you have never, or if you live in Canada and you want that opportunity to join for a discount and stay for the fun with the community, this is the time to join now. If you're interested, just reach out to me. Awesome. So Andrea's on my team. Isn't that kind of cool, right? So let's go on down to my desktop. And this is the painter's tape with a twist technique. Painter's tape is actually, in Canada, we call this masking tape. I think it's funny because isn't it at one point this used to be just plain gray masking tape and now it's painter's tape. I think it's a little bit more low tack. It's the green one. Anyways, this is a painter's tape technique. Now I want to show you a couple of things. I had done this way back in August of 2022. Oh my goodness, that's over 2 years ago. And this is the particular one that I had done at that point. And before that, and that was the masking tape, or they call it masking tape, but it's actually painter's tape technique. It's also this one that I had done. And it's funny because this stamp set is still available, and I am using part of that stamp set today, but very limited amount of that stamp set. So anyways, but this one is with a twist. Remember that this part will be showing on my Facebook group, my Stampin' with Diane Stampers group. It'll show at 9:05 tomorrow morning. I don't know if you're on YouTube, if you're going to see that link, but if you're on Facebook, you should see that link. Hello, Rita. Awesome. So, like I say, this is a variation of it. Now, what you want to do, and you know, it's funny because I went and I said, I am going to put on, it's like a science project, right? So I'm just going to come on and put my my rubber gloves on, or my gloves, because it could stain quite easily. And I'm going to put both of them on. It's funny, when I was prepping for this, I was on a Zoom and I went and I said, where are my gloves? And it's so funny because I found both boxes of those gloves. And one was in the most conspicuous, or it was in the most obvious spot, and it's quite funny. The only reason I'm doing that is because I am going to be using a bunch of different color stamp pads. I'm going to be using, we're going to use Balmy Blue. We're going to use Daffodil Delight. I'm going to be using some Night of Navy. I see that I've got that on there. I'm also going to be using some Shaded Spruce and also some Garden Green. So I am using a wide variety of colors on this particular card. And let's just hope that it works out okay. So what we want to do is we're going to open up our stamp pad. Oh, and let me get my cardstock out. This is quite a simple card as far as what you need. This happens to be a piece of basic white. It is 4 inches. Let me just, 4 inches by 5 1/4. I have reverted back to using my glass mat because this is that type of technique that is going to definitely make some a mess on the thing. Hello, Jacqueline. All right, so let's just move this out of the way and I'll keep referring to that. All right, so here I have my balmy blue. Hello, Pam. And I am taking my masking tape. Now this, I want this card to go horizontal, or I want it to be in a landscape form. So that means that we get to use lots of this masking tape. Now remember I said this was a twist. So what we want to do is I want to get this color and pick it up on the masking tape. And we want to make sure it's good. Now see, that's what I mean by just coloring it up and coloring your fingers. Hello, Lorraine, and hello CB. Okay, so now I have one of these spritzers, and in this spritzer is some rubbing alcohol. You know, you could do this with water, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more controlled. So that's the reason why I used the rubbing alcohol. So I'm just going to take this. We're just going to move that off to the side. And I'm going to take this. And see, I'm putting my fingers all in there and everything else. And I'm going to come off with this. And I'm just going to spritz. And this is the twist part of the baker's or the painter's tape. And see, that's there. I really want to have a piece of paper towel for that. So I'll just come in and get some paper towel when I... All right, so then now what we're going to do is bring this piece of basic white back in, and I am just going to take this and put this right up here, and I am going to, now this is just going to give a tiny bit different of a look compared to what the masking tape thing looks. See, it's quite even. I wanted this to be a little bit more splattered out. Whether it works or not, see, it does. It works a tiny little bit. Now, you're going to want to have a garbage can where you can get rid of that. And there's so much of this that we're all good, right? So here we'll take off our second piece. And I'm going to come in now. Let's close this one up. Look at that. And now I'll just put that off to the side. And now I'm going to come in with Daffodil Delight. Thank you for sharing, Rita. I really do appreciate that. And a little bit here. I'm just going to turn that over. And it's really kind of uneven. It's not really even. It is uneven. And I'm just going to spritz that again with my rubbing alcohol. You know what? I think I'll spritz it onto that paper towel. Maybe that would be better. And then I'm just going to come in with this. And you know what? If we get some blotches like I did there, that's okay. This is all art, right? So I'm just going to come in. That just gets splurted or splotted down. Now, remember, when this comes with rubbing alcohol, this doesn't stick like it normally would. So look at that. Now, if I want, I could come along and even spritz this a little bit more. But it's not going to run that much on this particular paper. And the reason it isn't is because this is just regular basic white. Okay, so we've done that. So let's go in now and let's do, what color do I want to do? Do I want to do, you know what? I'm going to come in with the shaded spruce. And we're going to do the same. Trust me, I didn't buy that painter's tape to use as painter's tape. Painting is not my forte. Yes, it's all about crafts, right? Now, this is the shaded spruce. So let's just get some of that off. Come back in with our rubbing alcohol. Now, I use 99% rubbing alcohol. I don't use the 71%. So I'm just going to come in here. And you know what? I didn't get that down straight, but we're okay, right? Kind of looks a little bit like the blue. And now I'm going to come in and we're going to use garden green. So let's just go ahead and do that. Now I don't want these like even. So it's looking like that's a little bit even. I don't want it even. So this piece is going to be a little bit all over. And this piece will be because I inked it up. And I know it's uneven. So see how uneven that piece is? And that's kind of cool. I don't want to worry about getting that fixed. So let's just go with that. Come in with our rubbing alcohol again. And now I'm just going to actually put it down on here. And you notice, whoops. And I went and I've splotched it all over the place. So I'm just going to come in, take that off, and see there's some different splotches on there. But this is art, right? So it's all about art. So I'm just going to come in and just put a tiny bit of that, just like that. So that is with a twist. If I did this with none of the rubbing alcohol and none of that part would have ran. And I'm just now going to go in and just spritz that to give a tiny bit more of a different look on there. All right, so now at this point, I can come in and take off my gloves. Science project over. And I'm just going to come in and clean this off. And it's a little bit wet, so we're going to kind of let that dry. Now, the other part is, now what you want to do is come in with an image. Now, to me, the image that is perfect for this, and this will be really one of the first times I've used it, is the In the Grove image. Remember that In the Grove also comes with these amazing dies. If you were part of our stamp camp on the weekend, you would have seen me use these In the Grove dies in a different way. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. And it's this stamp here, and I'm coming in with Night of Navy. Hello, Kay. I could do it with water, but it wouldn't give me the same sort of thing. Plus, also, it takes a little bit longer to dry. Yes, you can do it with water. I happen to have it with the rubbing alcohol. I'd like to see what the difference would be, but I don't think it'll be much difference. Okay, so I'm just coming in with this particular image, and I am now going to come in and bring this down about like so. Just like that. I'm not rocking it. I'm just letting that stamp, the ink and the stamp pad, and look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? Kind of looks like a sky, right? So now what we want to do is we can finish off the card. So there is your painter's tape with a twist. And like I say, it's only because of that. So let me come back in and show you those other ones. See how they're pretty distinct? That's why this is with a twist. Okay, so now I went and I cut this, and I have no ink on my fingers, so that's a good thing. I went and I cut. Now this happens to be basic white, the thick, and I ran this embossing folder through there. Now this one is so much different than In the Groove, or than what is the other one? Grassy Grove. The Grassy Grove has the outline goes quite a bit to the outside. I really like this one the best. Pam says, wow, you know you could maybe... Right, so then this is the piece that's going to go in here. Now, is that not just... It's simple. And it's just sort of got it all together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in And I'm going to come in with my dimensionals, and I'm going to come in with my paper snips, and I am just going to actually cut some of these off, and I'm going to put it onto these edges here because I want that part popped up. And it's far enough from the edges here that you're not going to see these dimensionals. So I'm going to go use those again. I love these outside pieces. They have so many uses, right? And so this one's just going to go here. And all of this, you don't want it so that it's sitting flat behind this this frame here. You want it so it's sitting up just a tiny bit, and that'll really help. So now I'm going to just come and do a couple of these down there. There's so much. You know what you would do is you would have the aura coming this way. That might be an interesting way of doing it. I do know of a technique to do it a certain way using another household product. So okay, so let's just go in here. And it's just going to go on there. And we're going to put some up here, and then we're going to fill those little spots in as well. Hello, Laura. So I'm just going to put that there. Like I say, if you were part of the stamp camp, you saw another use of this in the Grove dies, like showing as much versatility with my product as you can. So oops. All right, so we're just going to stick those little pieces, and I cut way too much off, but that's okay. Just put this in here. And another one just up there. All right. So now to put this on here and show off the beauty of this, come in with my take your pick tool. I just love that mountain scene. Or if you have any friends that are hikers or love the wildlife, this is definitely the one to get. Like I say, this one's nice too, the Grassy Grove, and we're going to use that thank you from the Grassy Grove because I love that thank you as well. You tend to like certain sentiments from different stamp sets, so we're almost done to get this ready to go on this card. And there we go. All right, so this, we're just going to put this down like this. And you know what, I think it would work quite well by just going, stand on my tiptoes. I'm just going to go ahead and put that right there. And there we go. There's the inside of our card. Now, if you don't like this part onto the back, you can go ahead and definitely put another piece on there. Let's go in and this, I think, would be amazing. Now, like I said, I want to use this thank you from this Grassy Grove. So this is just a label from the Greetings of the Season. And remember, I went and I took all of my labels, and I have 2 sets, but I used all of my labels, and I turned around and I took some tin snips and cut those out of there. Yes, you can definitely watch the replay. Okay, so like I say, here's this one here. We're just going to come in with our embossing buddy because it's dark. We need to have this on there, and I'm coming in, like I say, with this beautiful thank you. I think that is one of the nicest thank yous that we have right now. So put that there. Sorry, I'm just jumping from screen to screen here. So, right, so let me just put that. Again, we got to get up on my tippy toes. I think that'll fit right about in the middle. That's not too bad. And then I'm going to come in with my white embossing powder. Now, this is that new embossing powder. It's the Wow embossing powder. And it's quite funny because we had some discussions, and this yesterday morning, depending on your humidity, depending on your temperature, it's it's all dependent on what happens there. Sometimes white works, sometimes white doesn't work. And it's always been that way. It just seems that it's a little bit more that we have to face. Now I'm looking for my other, oh well, we'll just go ahead and put this in there. All right, so I'll just bring this out. I use a piece of cardstock. Find if I use a spoon in here, it gets too staticky. It worked pretty good. All right, so I'm just going to put that out of the way. And we'll come in and heat set this up. You want to make sure that your heat tool does heat up, and that'll make this heat setting, or the heat setting, a lot quicker. So just going to go in. There we go. Nice. Isn't that such a pretty thank you? I mean, I think it's amazing. All right, so we're also going to use some linen twine on the back of this. I'm just going to come in with my Stampin' Seal. And sometimes the easiest way to do this, and you're going to go, oh, it's that easy, is just to go in and tie. You can tie a single bow or a double bow. Let's see if a single bow is going to be enough. And it's going to be a bigger, loopier bow than normal. But here, and we're just going to go cut that. See how this is just going to go behind there. And you don't even really see that that's a bow, right? And then we're going to come in with our embossing buddy. We're just going to de-stick that. And I'm going to use dimensionals and get that stuck onto the front of the card. I'm not going to use any embellishments. We can leave this for the inside. What's available? I don't know what I even want to put on the inside. Might even want to put some of that same, no, I don't think so. I was thinking we could use that painter's tape technique on there. All right, so this is just going to go right here. Let's just stick that down there. And that's the card. That's how simple it really is. Thank you, Rita. All right, so like I say, that's painter's tape with a twist. And it's so simple, but letting it dry is really, really important. Other things that you can do is use different colors, use different images. Like I say, I used images from this one. Using this, I used, I think it was called Waves of Inspiration. And this one is using this stamp set. So, I mean, this was done a couple years ago, so it just shows you, but this one at least lets it go where you can, it's a bit of a twist with the rubbing out, excuse me, the rubbing alcohol. So I hope you like that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you will give it a try. It's really, really important that you do try these techniques. This will be in my Facebook group at 9:05 tomorrow. And you just have to, if you miss the posting and that sort of stuff, look under the file section and it will be there for you to print off. If you have any questions on this whatsoever, I think this is going on. I think it's the first Tuesday of the month. This technique is when this card is going on a blog hop. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. And this also, the sheet will have all the measurements, so you really don't even need to go onto the blog thing. So don't forget, I will see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific time. I will be posting the clues at noon on my page, but on my group I usually do it an hour before, just so that you know that you can get in there. And remember to create, because it's great for the soul. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out. If you have any ideas what to do, please reach out. Thanks you guys for joining me, you guys. And we will see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific.